Hey everyone, and I'm here to talk to you about something that might just save your life, especially if you're over 65. It may surprise you, but regularly eating the wrong kind of nuts after age 65 can increase your risk of cardiovascular disease by nearly 48%. We're talking heart attacks, strokes, the works. What's even more alarming is that some of the most popular nuts in your kitchen may silently raise your blood pressure, worsen inflammation, and even speed up cognitive decline. But don't worry, I'm not here to scare you, because here's the good news. Certain nuts can actually do the exact opposite: protect your brain, boost your bones, and support your heart. That's why in this video we're going to break it all down, revealing the 4 powerful nuts every senior should eat, and the 4 you should avoid at all costs. Let's get started. Let's kick things off with the mighty Brazil nut. This little powerhouse is your secret weapon for a healthy thyroid, especially as you age. Your thyroid is like the control center for your metabolism, regulating everything from your energy levels to your weight and even your mood. Just one of these babies packs a whopping 137% of your daily selenium needs. Selenium is a trace mineral that's absolutely critical for thyroid hormone production. It acts like a shield, protecting your thyroid from damage caused by inflammation and oxidative stress. This mighty mineral also plays a crucial role in cognitive health. It helps preserve myelin, which is like the protective coating around your nerves. Think of it as insulation for your brain's wiring. So, how many Brazil nuts should you be eating? Because they're so potent in selenium, you only need 1 or 2 a day to reap the benefits. In fact, consuming too many can actually lead to selenium toxicity, which can cause symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and even hair loss. Moderation is key. One last tip: store your Brazil nuts in the fridge to preserve their freshness. Next up we have the vibrant green pistachio, a nut that's as delicious as it is nutritious. Pistachios are like little heart-healthy heroes, bursting with nutrients that can help keep your ticker strong. One of their standout features is their impressive potassium content. Potassium is an essential mineral that helps regulate blood pressure, and pistachios are loaded with it. Pistachios are naturally low in sodium and high in potassium. This dynamic duo works together to relax blood vessels and improve blood flow, lowering your risk of hypertension, heart attack, and stroke. Pistachios also contain 2 powerful antioxidants called lutein and zeaxanthin. A good target is about 1 ounce per day, which is roughly 49 nuts. And here's a helpful tip: if you have arthritis, look for pistachios with shells that are already partially opened. Have you ever noticed how walnuts kind of resemble a brain? Well, that's no coincidence. Walnuts are like nature's brain food, packed with nutrients that support cognitive function and keep your mind sharp. One of their standout features is their high concentration of ALA omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3s are essential fats that our bodies can't produce on their own, so we need to get them from our diet. ALA, the type of omega-3 found in walnuts, is particularly beneficial for reducing brain inflammation. Walnuts contain antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that help combat this inflammation, protecting your brain from age-related decline. A daily serving of 7 to 9 walnut halves is a good target. You can enjoy them on their own, sprinkle them on salads, or add them to smoothies. Chapter 4. Almonds, your bone-strengthening, cholesterol-lowering allies. Let's talk about almonds, the versatile nuts that pack a powerful punch when it comes to overall health. Almonds are like little nutrient powerhouses, offering a triple threat of bone-strengthening calcium, muscle-supporting magnesium, and antioxidant-rich vitamin E. Let's start with calcium, the mineral that's crucial for strong bones and teeth. As we age, our bone density naturally declines, increasing the risk of osteoporosis and fractures. Almonds are a surprisingly good source of calcium, providing your body with the building blocks it needs to maintain bone strength and prevent age-related bone loss. Magnesium works hand in hand with calcium to support bone health. It helps the body absorb and utilize calcium effectively, ensuring that it reaches your bones where it's needed most. Almonds are also a great source of magnesium. So, how many almonds should you be eating? Aim for 15 to 20 raw or dry roasted almonds a day. Just make sure to chew them well to avoid choking. Chapter 5. Peanuts, the hidden dangers lurking in your pantry. Alright, now it's time to talk about the nuts you should avoid, and first on the list is the peanut. Now, I know what you're thinking. Peanuts? But they're everywhere. They're in my trail mix, my peanut butter, my grandma's famous cookies. And you're right, peanuts are incredibly common. But here's the thing, they're not technically nuts. They're legumes and they come with some potential health risks, especially for seniors. One of the biggest concerns with peanuts is their susceptibility to mold, particularly a type called Aspergillus flavus, which produces aflatoxins. Aflatoxins are toxic substances that can damage the liver and increase the risk of liver cancer. Peanuts, due to the way they're grown and stored, are particularly vulnerable to aflatoxin contamination. Another issue with peanuts is their high omega-6 fatty acid content. The typical Western diet is already overloaded with omega-6s, and adding more peanuts to the mix can tip the balance further, leading to inflammation. Peanuts can also interfere with blood thinners, which are commonly prescribed to seniors who are at risk of blood clots. So what's the bottom line? It's best to limit your peanut intake, especially if you're over 65. This is particularly important for dry roasted peanuts and commercial peanut butters, which tend to be more processed and higher in omega-6s and aflatoxins. Chapter 6. Cashews, the sneaky saboteurs of blood sugar and kidney health. Let's move on to another nut that might surprise you: cashews. While cashews are often touted for their creamy texture and versatility in recipes, they can actually pose some serious health risks, especially for seniors. One of the main concerns with cashews is their surprisingly high carbohydrate content. When we consume too many carbs, especially refined carbs like those found in processed foods, our blood sugar levels can spike, leading to insulin resistance, weight gain, and an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. Cashews, while lower in carbs than some other nuts, still contain a significant amount, especially when compared to almonds or walnuts. Another issue with cashews is their oxalate content. Oxalates are naturally occurring compounds found in many plant-based foods, and they can bind to calcium in the digestive tract, preventing it from being absorbed. This can be problematic for seniors who are already at a higher risk of calcium deficiency and osteoporosis. Cashews are also heavily processed, which can diminish their nutritional value. And if that weren't enough, cashews also contain enzyme inhibitors, which can interfere with digestion. So, while cashews might seem like a harmless snack, it's best to enjoy them in moderation or swap them for healthier alternatives, like almonds or walnuts. Chapter 7. Macadamia nuts, the delicious indulgence that can spell trouble for your heart and gallbladder. Now let's talk about macadamia nuts. These buttery, indulgent nuts are often considered a delicacy, but they can actually wreak havoc on your health, especially if you're over 65. One of the biggest concerns with macadamia nuts is their incredibly high fat content, particularly saturated fat. While some fat is essential for our health, saturated fat, when consumed in excess, can raise LDL cholesterol, also known as bad cholesterol. High LDL cholesterol is a major risk factor for heart disease, stroke, and other cardiovascular problems. Macadamia nuts are actually the most calorie-dense nuts, packing a whopping 204 calories and 21 grams of fat per ounce. So, while macadamia nuts might seem like a tempting treat, it's best to enjoy them sparingly or avoid them altogether, especially if you're over 65 or have any concerns about your heart or gallbladder health. Chapter 8. Pine nuts, the tiny troublemakers that can disrupt medications and wreak havoc on your taste buds. And last but not least, we come to the most dangerous nut of all, the pine nut. These tiny, unassuming seeds might seem harmless, but they can actually have serious consequences for your health, especially if you're taking certain medications. One of the most alarming things about pine nuts is their potential to interact with a wide range of medications, including blood pressure drugs, statins, and even some antidepressants. Pine nuts contain certain compounds that can interfere with the way these medications are metabolized in the body, either enhancing or reducing their effects. This can be extremely dangerous as it can lead to unpredictable side effects, medication toxicity, or even render the medications ineffective. Pine nuts are also notorious for causing a bizarre and unpleasant condition known as pine mouth or pine nut syndrome. This strange phenomenon, which can occur anywhere from a few hours to a few days after consuming pine nuts, is characterized by a persistent bitter metallic taste in the mouth. While pine mouth isn't typically dangerous, it can be extremely frustrating and long-lasting, with some people experiencing the metallic taste for weeks or even months after consuming pine nuts. So the bottom line is this: pine nuts are best avoided altogether, especially if you're over 65 and taking any kind of medication. So there you have it, your complete guide to the best and worst nuts for seniors. Aging doesn't mean you have to give up your favorite snacks, but it does mean choosing wisely. Nuts can be a healing superfood or a silent threat, depending on what you pick. By eating the right ones like Brazil nuts, pistachios, walnuts, and almonds, and steering clear of peanuts, cashews, macadamias, and pine nuts, you can support your heart, brain, bones, and overall health well into your golden years. Remember, knowledge is power. Now I want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments. Which of these nuts are in your pantry? And will you be making any changes after today? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. See you in the next one.